Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of The Panel. We are live here with Jimmy. He over there smoking, so I'm going to come back to him in a sec. We got Katie on the phone. We got Dutch, and
Yo.
we got Natalia. Did I say that right? Did I fuck it up? Hey.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So let's start off with checking on folks, right? So Jim, I'm gonna jump around a little bit. I want to figure out how Nat's weekend was because I ain't heard from her all week. What's up, Nat? What's going on? What's good with you?
Oh, it was my birthday yesterday, so
Happy
Happy birthday.
I
belated!
my name
Happy
on
birthday.
Monday. Thank you. 46th birthday.
That's
And
what's
God
up.
bless.
And you
yeah,
look fabulous.
You said your 25th birthday? She
thank
said
you.
25th.
Thank
25th.
you.
Now.
I just
Okay, but she looked like she 18 for real.
oh yeah,
For real.
18.
25th. That's right.
Hell,
You're right.
25th. That's right.
Thank you. So long day
Okay.
yesterday.
Happy
Took a
birthday.
nap.
Oh, you had
Monday.
an over 40 birthday, so you took a nap on your birthday.
Thank you.
Okay.
So
Cool. Hey Jim, what you got for us, bruh? How was your week?
My week was hectic. I
Oh,
had
tell us
to,
about it.
well, my mom is getting out of the hospital, and I'm also preparing to go down to Florida to volunteer to help people. And, it's pretty bad down there. I don't know if anybody saw pictures, but
Is it really bad? I just talked
yeah,
to my
it,
dad today. He was like fucking chilling and shit. He's in Miami. And he ain't
yeah,
saying
yeah,
nothing.
yeah. Miami and Fort Lauderdale, the East Coast didn't get hit, but
Oh,
I,
but
I
Tampa on the
just,
other side.
oh
Yeah.
man, off of 41 down to the water, it's
Mm.
completely wiped out. It's like flat land, and there was boats found almost a mile and a half inland. So you could imagine it was devastating. But I'm going down there to help some people and families. I joined
Nice.
out for an outreach program to go down for a week to 10 days and just help people.
Jimmy, that's a
good for
blessing. And
you.
it's
That's
wonderful that you're
awesome.
capable of doing that. And we do appreciate you going down there, right? Because
Well,
I
thank you
can't go
so
down
much,
there.
honey.
Yeah. That's what's
That's
up, Jim.
awesome.
Shout out to
We have to.
Jimmy. Go ahead, Jimmy, with your bad self. Hey, Katie, what's going on?
Hey, my week has been amazing. Everything is perfect. Lord
Oh,
knows.
shit, you got to share. She got some good news.
No, listen to the end. Wait till the end. Lord knows I'm lying, but you know that's fine. How has been your week?
Not too bad. Not too bad. My week is actually pretty decent, man. I'm going to head up north and we'll see what happens. I may be getting another blessing, so I'm super excited. So we'll see. Y'all pray for me and pray for my kid, and we'll just keep pushing from there. Now, the reason I saved Dutchie for the last is because she's going to be running the show tonight. Oh, so Dutchie, how was your week, babe? And then take over the show.
My week was okay. It's a little different over here. You guys know where I'm at. I'm all the way in the Pacific, so it's hot as hell. So while you guys are enjoying the cool 67 degrees, 70 degrees weather, it's like 90 something degrees here, 87 degrees. So it's hot. But I've had a decent week. Keeping up with what's going on and finding a few interesting things to talk about today. Outside of
Awesome.
that, how was everybody else? Guys doing good? Everybody's good.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think we went around the board, so we good to go, babe.
All
It's
right,
your
great.
show kickoff. Woohoo!
So
I'm excited.
I
I'm
want to
sorry. She's
discuss.
my bestie.
I want to discuss Kanye. We talked about Kanye, and I know everybody's talking about Kanye. We've kind of beat a dead horse with Kanye, and see here's the thing. So you see what we're doing right now? We're doing what Kanye wants everybody to do. He wants us to talk about it. And he's very ingenious in how he goes about doing it from the White Lives Matter. Now, mind you, I'm not a fan and I'm not a not fan. So I don't really have a biased opinion. So my opinion is very unbiased. I can name 10 songs, but I'm also, okay with not listening to Kanye either way, one way or the other. Um, what we do have is something that I find concerning is his commentary that has now cost Kanye a lot of money and a very big bag. And then there's also a lot of assumptions on what it has costed him. His comments about the Jewish community has offended quite a few people. Um, this isn't the first time, because his comments last time offended the Black community. Unfortunately, we've had two different types of results in this particular situation. And we can say that it has led up to, from previous behavior, but then you'd have to also address the same shit that happened with Nick Cannon. Soon as Nick Cannon made a comment against the Jewish community, they came for his network. They came for his TV show. So you have, and mind you, in no means, no way do I intend to offend anybody. I'm not going to be that person that says I have that one Jewish friend. I just personally, I love and hate everybody equally, so I really don't give a fuck, just to be honest. So it's not a personal thing for me, but it does make you have to question, what is the difference when he, is it because he's Black? Is it okay for him to make disparaging comments, whether you agree, whether you don't agree? We do know that the Jewish community does pretty much run the entertainment business industry. Hands down, that is not allegedly, that is a fact. Most of the entertainment industry is ran by, let's say, the music industry, Jewish. Most of your lawyers, you'll find out, are Jewish. Banking system, Jewish. So when he said white lives matter, we couldn't really say shit because all lives do matter, but it still got everybody talking. You can't really say, oh, I mean, and if you did say, well, you can't wear that, it is kind of fucked up, because you can't tell one person that somebody else's life is less valuable than another. So did he really say something fucked up when he wore that shirt? I think that's kind of in the eye of the beholder on how you value life, human beings in general, minus the color, right? So what does make it okay for him to make a disparaging comment about another community that allows you to come for his bag, that allows you to come for his what makes him a billionaire? Now, Adidas has dropped him, and a lot of people are saying that Kanye is going to lose a lot of money because of this. Is he? No. Adidas will lose money. Well, you have to understand something when you look at people like Kanye. Kanye is going to continue to have a following of people that will listen to his rhetoric, and then there's going to be the other half of the community that's not going to listen to his rhetoric. It all depends on what you believe, what you stand for, and morality, what you can jive with what he's saying. That's the difference in if you agree with what Kanye says or if you don't agree. I'm not going to say I agree with or disagree, but I do have one opinion, and I do think it's pretty fucked up that once he makes a comment about one community, that they do start to, and only because this has been done before, not because he's the first one. If you pay attention and you go back and you look at anybody that has made a comment, Black, white, or indifferent, it's not a color thing. It's not because he's Black, but a comment was made about the Jewish community. You understand what I'm saying? Now, when you look at that, that's something to hone into. Doesn't mean that Kanye's not fucking crazy. It doesn't mean that Kanye's sane. Doesn't mean he's a genius. Doesn't mean that he's not. We really don't know. We know he's intelligent, Anna Wintour from, what is she? She had a vote, dropped him. You have a couple of athletes that will no longer support Kanye doing business dealings with him. And you have AB said he would continue. There are going to be some people that will continue to support him because, again, they're going to look at a bigger picture of why this and why not that. You can go with, well, hey, Kanye say slavery was a choice. I'm going to go out on a limb here. Was it a fucked up comment? Again, it all depends on who you are, how you took it, and what part of that comment that you found fucked up. You understand what I'm saying? And that's a truth that people don't want to hear, because you're not supposed to say certain shit. You're not supposed to say slavery was a choice without context. What Kanye did is he said something without context. He said slavery was a choice, and everybody's thinking, well, shit, no, motherfucking slavery wasn't a choice. Nobody told you to go and ship us here and force us. But if you look at somebody else might have taken that. Now, again, I'm not going to pick a side. I'm just going to give you what the facts are. Look at how somebody else might have taken that. They might talk about mental slavery. You understand what I'm saying? Mental slavery is something totally different, and that is a choice. And in actual slavery, you have three choices: stay, do what master tells you, run, possibly get shot, caught, or die, or stay and fight and still die. So I don't know if any of those things is what he meant, but I know that your brain has to be big enough and you have to think outside of the box to truly understand somebody's life who's going to say shit to make you think what right. Again, I don't know, wrong or indifferent. But at this point, I'd like to hear what my panel has to say about it.
All right, so before you do that, I'm gonna jump in and say, John Mikes, Regular viewer, thank you for joining us again,
Thank
brother.
you, John.
His shoes are about to be priceless, is what he said.
Absolutely. What people don't understand is he built that up from the ground. Do you understand what I'm saying? So
Yeah, because he didn't have a backer before.
No, he did not have a backer. So when you take your own financial backing and you do something, and then when you still have a following, people are still, again, whether he's right, wrong, indifferent, it's not for us to judge because we don't really know what goes on behind the industry. We're just here on the outside. But from a financial standpoint, those shoes are not gonna they're gonna be on. No, people are gonna still fuck with Kanye because there's gonna be some people that are gonna follow his rhetoric and be okay with it for whatever reasons, good, bad, or indifferent. So no, he's not about to lose a bunch of money behind these Yeezys. Now people are waiting for them to go on sales because they want them now. Oh my God, are they gonna go on clearance? And it's not stopping people from wanting his shoes.
Yeah.
It absolutely isn't gonna stop. Shit, Timberland said, excuse my French, but Timberland said he doesn't like niggas. And guess what? Half of the population of New York still rocks Timberlands. And if you don't have a pair of Timbs, guess what? You're not a real New Yorker. That didn't stop shit. It absolutely didn't stop anything. Nautica wear is for sailing and so forth. They sell that shit at Ross now. You think you're not going to find Nautica in a black household or Tommy Hilfiger, who also made disparaging comments? People are going to continue to buy what they want to buy. It doesn't matter. H&M, Louis Vuitton had used us for display. They had a zoo, and this is a well-known thing.
They had a zoo.
Human zoo, baby, look it up. Black people, human zoo.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't stop people from buying Louis Vuitton. You understand what I'm saying? We know that a lot of diamonds were mined and they're blood diamonds. Did that stop black people or did that stop any of us? Because we know that it was in Africa.
I got a blue diamond. Hey.
No. So you have to look at we're so caught in social media, and because 2 million followers say, "Oh my God, he's gonna do this," or "Oh my God," it becomes a true statement. Y'all got to remember, we have a lot of people that are on social media, and now they're detectives, and these motherfuckers got degree for all types of shit and have never set foot or done any type of schooling to obtain these things. So you can't listen to the internet. You have to look at facts. Do I think he can bounce back from it? Shit. A lot of people have bounced back and some haven't. It just depends on how many people are going to support you. And pop culture right now is very fickle. But Kanye does have a strong following. He does have a strong foundation. And he is Mr. Kardashian.
I expect the same from you. Nat, what you got to say on this?
Oh, wow. Well, I'm like Duchess. I'm not a fan of Kanye West, or, I don't like him or dislike him. But some of the things that he said was things that people want to say, and he just came out and said it. But now, like you said, Jewish feeling some type of way, so they're showing they're flexing, and they have flex in the past when other celebrities say something about them just because they can, and the society has been letting them do it. They're just letting the culture, just if they say something bad about them, or not even bad, just facts, they are just cutting off people by the knees. So I don't agree with that, but that's that's the world of the media. So but I do feel like he will come back on getting his money back in a different way. I feel like Adidas is going to apologize later on and say, I'm sorry, we were wrong to, let you go, because they're going to see a lot of money they're going to lose, and they're going to go back to the drawing board and say, you know what, we made a mistake. We shouldn't have, taken the advisement of whoever may be and take him out, and he's going to make his money in other ways. But I do wonder if other endorsements are going to go behind Adidas and let him go.
So a few have already. A few of them have. But so here's a question that I want to ask all of you. I want to ask the viewers, and I want to ask my panel. There are two communities that you absolutely cannot say anything disparaging, because if you do, you will lose endorsements, you will lose money, you will lose all sorts of deals. Do you guys know, outside of the Jewish community, what is the other community that you absolutely cannot say anything about?
The Asian or
Nope,
the
wrong.
LGBT.
Absolutely
LGBT.
right.
Yeah, you
If
can't
you
say shit
say
about them.
anything disparaging about the LGBTQ LMNOP whatever, it becomes an issue.
Yeah.
You see that? Brian Brady, absolutely right. Brian Brady said the Jews and the gays. Now,
So let's go back to another comment he said, just really quick. Do you mind reading it off real quick?
no, absolutely. I actually saw it earlier. Brian Brady said, Ace of Spades knocked off Crystal after Crystal denounced the rap world. Now, here's what you guys also got to understand. Some things are not coincidence. Now, we won't get into a whole lot. I don't do the whole Illuminati shit. I believe in real people that will knock other people off to continue or to make a profit. I do find it very precarious that who was XXX Extension with, and a couple of these other guys that were all on the same label. And I find it very precarious that several artists here in the last 2 years have all died at some kind of means, by some sort of means. And I got to go back and look at what label this is. And I do find that interesting, why this does happen. And it's a dangerous thing, because somebody else in Hollywood and in the music industry really does control beyond your content. They control your life, essentially. They control, you have people like we have a thing that's supposed to be freedom of speech, but it is not free. Even that includes Jimmy's least favorite person, Donald Trump. No matter what he, she, it, we, they says, if we're supposed to have freedom of speech, you can't ban somebody from a platform because you don't like what the fuck they're saying. That's tough titty. People are supposed to be allowed to express what they feel, and you're supposed to be allowed to, debate with that. But now we've gotten to a point of where censorship has gone beyond censorship, and now your actual rights are being censored and not being able to say what you want on these platforms. So what you're saying is, and it's like this community standards shit. Community standards and guidelines are bullshit. I'm always in Facebook jail. You know why? Because they're violating my freedom of speech. But you can say nigga all day long on Facebook, but you cannot say anything yes, that you can type out the word with an A, with an ER, however you want to put it. You can say it on Facebook. You will not be thrown in Facebook jail. Don't believe me, try it. But if you say something else about other races that is disparaging, they'll put your ass in jail. If you say anything remotely that looks like you're going to assault somebody, guess what? You're going to Facebook jail. If you say something that the algorithm will pick up that jives with what they deem bullying, your page is pretty much locked down. So that brings me to another topic: when lingo has changed. Acronyms and lingo is how people have been getting by now with social media. So you have this is part of pop culture, how these kids speak now. Not just kids. When I say kids, young adults as well. Do y'all know what the term no cap means? I'm still hip, so I know what all this shit means. But do y'all know what no cap means?
Yeah, like lie or somebody lying.
Yeah, you told me earlier.
Somebody's lying. No cap means somebody.
Yeah, that's the only reason why I know, because we went through it last time.
Right. It means somebody's lying, somebody's not telling the truth. You're having the general conversation, and Jimmy says,
that's
hey,
the new version, though. The old version is when you use the cap on your friends, like come for them, you know what I mean? Like I be capping on your mama. Or that's where I grew up in Cali. I'm a represent. Hey, Nipsey.
High side. So now the new lingo for being untruthful is capping.
That's like, crazy to me.
If Jimmy tells me, hey man, I got 50 broads in the back and they're all rolling my weed or some shit like that, and that's how Jimmy, that's cap. That means Jimmy, you're full of shit. And
right.
Nah, man, I'm not.
But Jimmy gonna show you he ain't.
You're just using me as an example for him because I'm the only man here, so I get it. It's all good, man. Dude.
Jimmy called
Hey,
you.
nowadays it's
No, but I
2020.
get it. And, it's pretty weird, Dutch. It's pretty strange. You're right about that because I've been reading up a little bit. You probably know more. You guys probably know more than I do. But it's this new lingo thing. It's really very bizarre,
Well, you know what I want to
But I
tell you
mean,
about the lingo? Here's what I think about pop culture lingo. I think we come from a more brash time. Most of us are within the same 10 to 20 year age bracket. So you just kind of said what it was. We had our own little slangs and shit like that, but you just kind of said what it was. I think this generation is so soft
Yeah, they some punk ass bitches.
that a man
Yes.
can't tell you or come to your face and say you're a fucking
You are
liar.
a fucking liar.
You're a
You
liar.
lying, nigga.
That
That's
And
how I used to
accountability.
carry it.
it's more comfortable to say, "Oh
Accountability.
man, that's cap."
And I don't mean to use the N-word. I meant you lying, fool.
No, yeah, that's cap. No, fuck you. You lying.
You
know,
lying, you bitch ass fool. You lying. Prove it. And then we will make you prove it, right? You come to school with a fake fucking bag. I need to see that shit.
So
That wouldn't be me, but that'd be other people, right? And then we all need to see it.
So I think people
Right.
have. I think we're
Oh,
in
no.
a whole phase where people want to be bullies and people want to be tough, and they want to give out this persona because of social media culture. You got the whole keyboard warriors and all this other shit. You got the new lingo, but what I really think it is, I think this generation is soft as hell. Yeah, I said it. I don't think y'all got the balls to really tell somebody that they're a liar. So you guys use soft words like soft extortion. A person that'll extort you, they'll just brazenly tell you, I want this, or you're going to give me this. But soft extortion is where you find a nicer way to, to say,
That's because everybody is a winner. Nobody's a loser.
Yeah,
Where's the fucking
I'll
trophies
tell
anymore?
You
know what I mean?
lying. You
Yeah,
lying.
bullshit. You lying. You a fucking liar. I'll call that motherfucker out. You lying. You lying. You lying. You sorry piece of shit. You lying.
And accountability.
Where's half of our
Nobody
panel
wants
at?
to be accounted for.
So Bush is on the dolly tonight, y'all. So he can't join us. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So
Where's
Grub
Kate?
Man's
She
working.
disappeared on us, and where's Dennis?
So I don't know. But grown-ups do grown-up shit.
I want to do grown-up shit.
What, you don't want to be here?
Well, no, I don't mind being here. I just want to do grown-up shit.
Exactly. That's
So,
what I'm saying.
I'm doing over 21 shit in front of your face. Okay.
I know.
So,
having a bad
do your shit.
connection.
Do your shit. Yeah, and Jim
Okay.
got a bad connection. He keep coming in and out. That's
okay.
because he moved to Staten Island.
Now, moving along to the next topic.
I'm just. Oh, did he leave? Because I said that. No, I'm just playing. Go ahead. I got to plug in my fan.
Moving along to the topic. Wow. Didn't you have this guy, Mr. Drive into a crowd of people and represent myself guy?
Yeah, Daryl Brooks. So Daryl Brooks is on some bullshit, and Daryl Brooks got exactly what the fuck he deserved. That's me. That is Malika's opinion, and I'm sticking fucking with it. Right.
Well, why don't you tell us who Daryl Brooks
So
is?
this is what happened. So Daryl Brooks drove through a Christmas parade in 2021.
Okay.
And he killed 6 people, some of which were children that were part of a fucking band. This piece of shit. So Katie just texted. I'll see you in a sec. Actually, do you mind catching Katie's text while I keep going? All right. Sure. So boom. So Daryl decides to drive through, and like I said, he killed 6 people, some of which were children in a band. So 68 people were injured though, right? So he done fucked over 68 people, and he drove a vehicle through a parade knowingly. Now, this is what happened. He got into a fight with his girlfriend, supposedly. Well, they convicted him. So he got into a fight with his girlfriend, and he was supposedly high and drunk at the time, right? So while they beefing,
what was he? Wait, question. What was he high off of?
I don't know. I do not know what he was high off, and so I don't want to make that. It could have been meth. I don't fucking know. Coke. Okay. It could have been anything. But we don't have you driving through no damn parades. I'm gonna say that. So
that it might shit.
Cannabis.
Unless you get
we're having an audio problem. I can't hear what anybody's saying.
Jim, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Oh,
Go
thank
up to
God, man.
Verizon. Good.
Yeah, I was getting cut out. I was completely getting cut out of the whole.
Nah, I get you, brother. I
We're
get you. So I'm
2:30.
telling the story about Daryl Brooks. So
That
what
ain't
wound up
safe.
happening is he decided, like during his trial, he got offended with his lawyers or whatever, and so he fired them. Right. So this trial was a slam dunk. Like everybody saw him. He rode through the crowd in a fucking parade. The car was registered to him. His girlfriend, he called onto the stand, and then he badgered her. And so the defense had to come to her rescue. So obviously now she's on the defensive side. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a whole jacked up situation, right? So after going through all this, he's defending himself, and he's dragging this shit out for like fucking days. He drug it out for like 15 days. Just everything the judge said, he was counteracting with like 4 questions that he had already read out, right? And so everything she said, like if she said no, go ahead, defense, I object on this, I object because of that, blah 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 blah. So I'm gonna bring this shit to home now, right? So after he does all this for 15 days, yesterday we did a live stream where he was basically pleading for his life. He was giving his closing argument. And so the live stream is on the actual channel, so check it out at bulllight.com. And so he was begging, he was pleading, boom. So now the jury comes back. It was only yesterday, so these people came back pretty quick, right? So they basically charged him guilty on all counts. I mean, he fucked up. So the long and the short of this is, goddamn, he got fucked over for having an argument with his chick. That's basically what happened. He's gonna get the rest of his life in prison for having
an argument and
disagreement
getting mad. Yeah.
with his broad or with his lady. That's some
Yeah, that's
bullshit.
stupid.
He gonna think about this shit every day. And you know, the sad part about it is we sometimes as Black people, we're so passionate. We are very passionate. Latinos are passionate. You know, we are passionate people. And we're not, you know, there are a lot of communities that are a little more docile. You know, like if I walk past Jimmy and I stepped on his shoes, I ain't trying to kill him for it. Or he ain't gonna try to kill me because I did it.
No.
But let's be real. Sometimes in the African American community, it goes that way, right? You step on my shoes, I'm about to fuck you up. We gonna fight, or I'm gonna shoot you.
I think it just comes down to a person not being able to control his
To
emotions.
control their emotions, and he's gonna do the
I mean,
rest of
seriously,
his life. in
I would
prison.
never think of harming a girl, or if I get upset or my girlfriend leaves me, I would be a gentleman and say, hey, I'm here for you, you know, let's be friends, I understand, or whatever. I would be more consoling. I'm not going to drive away. That's a radical disposition and a very foolish, a very, you know, dumb-witted person. I'm sorry, the guy doesn't have his wits about him, you know.
Yeah,
You
man.
can't, there's no way, as a rational person, I couldn't even fathom thinking about something like that. He killed little kids, you know.
He killed children, and then he stood
you know,
there
you
and
can't.
begged for mercy. Like he was basically asking the jury to think about his kids.
Right.
Think about my kids.
Exactly,
You're not gonna be with me.
Exactly.
But think about the parents that lost their children.
Yeah.
You insensitive piece of shit. But anyway, that's Malika's opinion. What do you guys think about this? Because I judge this out.
Oh, same.
You're passing?
I'm wondering if he did
same
something to in the past.
He probably has.
You know, that was just told and gave him some anger management.
Wait. You breaking up
classes.
You breaking up, Nat.
Oh, I said, I wonder if he did something crazy in the past before he did all this. And then that could have been caught and he could have went to anger management. And this could have been
that temper was building up.
So, I mean, something he had to do something crazy.
He was not batshit crazy.
It just
right?
I understand some people just out of the blue just
snap
get off all of a sudden, but it has to be some type of warning signs.
Yeah,
in the past.
You would think so. And I mean, he was a known gangbanger in the community, and you know there were a couple other things that he had.
Yeah, he wasn't a model citizen.
Wasn't a model citizen. Yes, as
no,
Jimmy said.
absolutely not. Yeah.
But the sad part about it was like he tried to justify like, but I honked the horn
I honked the horn.
while he
I
driving
didn't
through.
hear that in the transcripts. That's what he said.
Yeah, he basically was like, I
I
honked the
honked the
horn to
horn. Why
alert
didn't
the
they get out of the
people.
wow?
That's basically what he said. Why couldn't they move quick enough? Because you in a fucking car.
Well, like Natalie said, this just didn't happen. This was a buildup of emotions. He probably was in a real toxic relationship. Like you said, he had a fight with his ex-girlfriend, Malik, and he went off of that emotion,
But then what do you tell the parents of the children?
You can't tell them anything.
Exactly.
You
So
have to
fuck
put the
him
guy
as a
in.
parent. He gotta go.
He's
So
got to
moving-
go, right?
So we're gonna move on from that because we got a little bit of time left. So let me run through a few things. So Def Jam reportedly cut ties with Kanye's label music. Young M.A. is currently in the hospital right now, but she seems to be doing okay. J. Alexander Kong pleads guilty to manslaughter and George Floyd's death. Also, federal appeals court has temporarily blocked Joe Biden's plan to forgive hundreds of millions of dollars to student loan debt.
Yeah, I saw that.
Cardi B also beats her Gangsta Bitch Music volume cover art case. There was a guy that was suing her because of the tattoo likeness, lost the case $5 million. Also, we have Drink Champs. Drink Champs, the Migos, who is popularly part of Cardi's husband being 1/3 of the group, Offset. The other two, they're also related, decided that they would go on Drink Champs and say that they like Nicki Minaj better than Cardi B, which started a whole beef with that. And
whoa! So her own husband's crew.
let me
Go for it. I just had to hear that again.
Yeah. So Cardi's response to that was stand on it. So that's become an issue as well. That's inner workings in the music industry. Matt Barnes was hit with a restraining order from his girlfriend's ex-husband, being dragged to court by family of his girlfriend, including her ex-husband and his new girlfriend, who claimed to be he is harassing them. And according to the legal documents obtained by the Blast, Melissa Andrino filed a restraining order against the basketball player, asking for protection from him for herself and for her fiance, NFL star David Patterson, and his children.
Wow.
It should be noted that the 3 children are with Matt's current girlfriend after the previous relationship. Also, Nick Cannon celebrates the holidays with all 10 of his children. Yes, all 10. All 10. And we also have 50 Cent addressing, and I'm going to go ahead and play the audio real quick, the situation with his son and how he feels about that.
It's not clear, Dutch.
Yeah, okay. I can't hear it.
It's breaking up.
Okay. So we'll get better audio for this, but basically, 50's a little bit calm. He's not being insulting. He's basically letting you know with the child support. It ended up being $67,000, which you've already heard. But 50's thing is, if his son really wanted to come to him, why didn't he just make a phone call instead of going to the bloggers? Adidas ends their partnership with Kanye. We've already gone over that. Kanye is also no longer a billionaire after they cut ties. I don't really know how the hell that works out. But when we talk about thoughts and commentary, Kanye owns 100% of Yeezy, not a percentage. That's something that was built from the ground up. Adidas says they will lose $256 million this quarter after terminating his contract. That means it was bringing them at least $1.5 to $2 billion a year in sales, which kind of made Adidas relevant.
Sound like a good business decision.
So that being said, also YouTube removed Kanye West video. The message that we're receiving is that rappers can pretty much talk about murder, drugs, sex, speak disparagingly about black people, and disrespect women. But if they say that's offensive to Jews, they've crossed the line.
Yes.
Also, Vogue Anna Wintour cut him off. Also, Drink Champs, the video where he said it has also been removed. The Shop pulls Kanye West episode. Also, a grandmother found her body was found in a 22-foot long python that swallowed her whole. Brittany
Good
Griner
Lord.
lost her appeal and will now begin a 9-year sentence in one of Russia's infamous penal colonies. So that's it. She's not getting out. That's my report for all celebrity news and pop culture. Go ahead and ask your question.
What happened with that old woman with the python?
So there was a lady, her whole entire body was found whole in a 20-foot python. A
Where was
grandmother.
this,
Jimmy,
in
you don't own
Florida?
those.
Of course, it was in Florida.
Jimmy, you own any snakes?
What?
You own any snakes?
Am I afraid of snakes?
No, do you own any?
No.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. I don't like them. I don't fuck with no snakes. I don't fuck with no birds either. No snakes, no birds. But the bitch,
I like
I mean, the
birds,
old
but I
lady
don't know
had.
about snakes, man.
Well,
You got
I
to
love
feed it a
birds.
mouse and watch it kill a mouse and eat it.
See,
I don't know.
yeah, I
Brittany
love birds
Griner-
because they're beautiful, but I don't like them in my face. But damn,
Brittany Griner losing her appeal. There's no surprise there. Again, you have a lot of people that get together on social media and oh my God, they're going to get her out and blah, blah, blah. And you have to remember, this is not her first trip there. Brittany has frequented this country. She's practically played most of her career. She's allegedly, but factually has played a good portion of time over there in Russia. So this is not a place she's never been. I still say you're responsible for knowing whatever laws or whatever country that you go into, just like they're responsible of knowing the laws when they come here. When you go somewhere, if you're a weed smoker, please know the laws. If you are a licensed gun carrier, please know the laws. Know the laws of the countries that you are entering, or your ass will be somewhere with Bubba and Frida and doing some unspeakable shit. So,
You know, Dutch, I agree with you, but they gave her drug smuggling. They didn't give her drug possession. She only had a little weed on her. They're really making a mockery of this, and they're using her as an example.
She didn't have weed. She
You
had
know, it's messed up, but they got her as a drug smuggling
a
charge.
drug
I think
smuggler
that's
is
a
a
little.
big fucking deal, though. So that's fucked up, Jimmy.
It is fucked
Thanks
up.
for pointing that out.
But you have to look at.
Yeah, I feel bad for that
brought
woman. You
up
know, she had to go there to make money because they don't pay her enough here. That's why the poor woman was there trying to make a living.
She brought a vape
Stupid, man.
into the country. I understand everybody saying that, you know, they gave her a drug smuggling charge, but in essence, what are you doing when you're sneaking something that has cannabis in it that you know is not supposed to be there? You're smuggling it in.
Oh no, I agree with you, Dutch. I agree, absolutely.
I mean, I'm just saying,
You know,
by technicality, do I think it's shitty?
I mean, but smuggling kind of indicates that you're trying to smuggle in. Like, to me, when I think drug smugglers, I think of the cartel.
Yeah.
But
I
that's
don't think
like Kevin Stubb, you know.
Because you know, when you think of smuggling, you think of the cartel because of the stereotype. But technically, you have to look at what the word smuggle means. Kids can smuggle juice into school. You understand what I mean? Because they're sneaking. Smuggling is sneaking something in somewhere that it is not supposed to be. It does not have to be a large sum of drugs. It does not have to be some top of shit. So, and that's in our country, in our culture. If this is a no weed, no cannabis, no vape culture, to them, it's major. What's minor to us, you know, and you have to look
it's
at that.
It's super disrespectful to them. Yeah, I get it.
You have to respect the culture. And if their culture says that this is not okay, we can't, because it's okay with us.
Yeah, Russia's strict, man.
You just know, don't take your ass to Russia.
I've been there. It's not a nice place.
If I can't smoke weed in Dubai, I'm not fucking going, and I know that I can't. And that's why sometimes I won't go back. You know, because they don't care who you are. Right. They don't care Wayne or whoever. You bring the shit over here, you're going to jail, and you gotta respect it. You know.
So I'll say, wait, the Migos, they were ones yelling "fuck Cardi B." I missed part of that.
Not the husband. Yeah. So
there goes the voices.
Takeoff and Quavo were asked on Drink Champs who they thought was better. Keep in mind, they are 1/3 of the Migos. Offset is a third Migos, who is Cardi B's husband.
But there was 2 of them that came for her.
Yes, and they are also related. So these guys are legit, legally blood related, uncle, nephew, and cousin.
So why would they come for his wife?
I don't, you know.
That's disrespectful.
Here's how I feel about it. I feel like this is a very dirty game because of the internet, and without the internet you would not have drink champs. Again, I say this all the time, if you did not have these social platforms, you don't really know,
That's right.
you really don't know what goes on behind closed doors. And for all we know, it's one thing when you make a song with her, but as far as they might not, they hate her. You know what I mean? And they might just put up with
Right.
it because their uncle's wife, or that's their nephew's wife, or that's their cousin's wife, because
I know, but that's that shit. You know, what'd your mama tell you before you left?
what goes on in my house stays in my house. But
that's the fucking right truth.
But
and so
again,
you don't be airing out my family's dirty laundry unless they have cursed her out before and let her know they don't fuck with her.
But again, you have to look at social media, and right now airing people out and exposing them is what gets people talking. Kanye started exposing what's that Jenner lady, the one that prostituted her daughter, Kim's mama. Yeah, Chris. They they air each other out. These rappers, they air each other out.
I just don't think it's appropriate. Like, yeah, no. Well, if that shit happened in my house, somebody getting shot. I'm gonna tell you right now. Offset, or what was the other dude's name? The other two, Quavo and 2 Cents, you would be shot.
So exposure in general is really another. We could talk about cancel culture, but exposure culture is something that people aren't talking about. I've never even heard the term until I just said it right now.
Exposure culture. And the sad part about it is these are professional people. Like, it would be different if it was like us sitting around and somebody asked, well, what you think about your aunt Malika? My nephew was like, hey, I mean, she do sometimes.
Exposure culture has gone beyond celebrities being aired out. Transsexuals, gays, people that are not ready to come out the closet. See, once upon a time, it was something that it was a necessity because men were DL brothers. They weren't just gay. They were actually with men and women. So it was a need to expose somebody for being into that. So you knew that you weren't messing with a guy that liked other men. But now you have men that are just straight up gay. They're not messing with women. And people feel like other men and other women feel like they still have to air them out. You have transgender people that they have no interest in anybody that's straight. They might not have any interest in anybody that's in our circle. They're just trans. This is the life. This is what they want to be exposed to other people like them. But you still have people that feel the need to, oh my God, you're trans. I have to expose you. People need to know what you are. People need to know who you are.
The only time you need to know who the fuck I am if I'm doing some trans shit like that is if I'm playing both sides.
But we're not.
But then you're exposing me as a person. You know what I mean?
We're saying this culture, exposure culture, has gone beyond exposing people that are playing.
And that's why people keep dying every fucking day. And that's exactly why. That whole I'm going to expose you and your business is what's getting people killed. Because these kids are starting to feel like they're bullied and stuff. That all ties together. It's a bullying culture. If you can't have a life outside of a camera, it's a bullying fucking culture. You should be able to have some privacy and live.
Again, it's extortion. It's both soft and regular extortion. You do what I want you to do, and they're not asking for money. Now I'm going to expose you. And when exposing, you have to understand the severity of what the word exposure means. And I don't mean just by definition, but I mean in every literal sense of the word. It's like when you think of exposing someone, they're naked. And being naked is, somebody to remove your clothing and they can see underneath. When you expose somebody's personal life, their secrets, things that they are not comfortable with the world yet, you essentially have made them vulnerable to the other opinions, and you've made them vulnerable to the rest of society that might deem what they're doing to be something taboo or wrong. And that's what we're in. We're in a culture where wives and husbands, they break up, and then wives decide they want to go on social media and tell all his, his dick is small and he's not circumcised and blah, blah, blah. You have baby mothers, oh, he ain't shit, or baby fathers, oh, she's a horrible
mother. Know what? I promise you. If anybody in my past exposes me, I'm visiting your ass. And I'm not saying I'm going to kill you, but I'm going to visit you. We're going to have a serious conversation. There you go.
So
you expose me if you want to. You got to see me. Now I want to show up. I will pay a plane ticket.
Here's the gift and the curse of exposure culture. The gift and the curse of exposure culture and social media platforms is both a double-edged sword, because now we have body cams, and that is to expose crooked cops. We also have
I think if it's part of your job, though, see, for me, I'm cool with the body cams
But-
because I
but-
think that it protects the police officer and it protects the
With-
suspect.
But with everything, with every pro, there is a con.
Yes.
And talking about just exposure culture in general. Now we're in a culture where racists are being exposed and people are losing their jobs behind it. They're being exposed on social media. So we can say it's fucked because people are using this platform to expose people's personal lives, their personal business. And then on another hand, it's been beneficial to expose certain type of people's lives and their business.
But
now,
hold up, Dutch. If I'm standing in the store and somebody calls me the N-word, yes, I'm going to expose your ass. You address me. I don't fuck with you.
but listen, okay, now here's you have to understand where this gets dangerous.
But I'm talking about like family. Family should not be exposing family. That's
But
just my rule.
We're keeping it in general, though. This is in general
Those
about
are the
culture.
worst.
Here is family is worse. Here is the thing about exposing someone, and here's where it becomes dangerous. Now, I'll give you my opinion if I'm okay with it here in a second, but let me give you the facts. When you expose somebody, no matter what they have done, no matter, and when I say no matter what they have done, be it they've said some racist shit, be it they've hit somebody, I don't care what race they are. We race, creed, color, whatever. We're talking about a human being. If you expose them, I will need y'all to understand something. And you use the internet, and a lot of times you will expose their addresses, and you will put these people.
Yeah, that's too far though. That's too far.
Wait. Now, mind you, again, and I'm speaking on no matter what they have done. I'm not going to say it's too far, and I'm not going to say it's not. Here's what I'm going to say. Be prepared for what comes after that. So if you know somebody is a pedophile and you expose them and you put their address out there and you just meant for them to get their ass kicked and to go to jail, don't be surprised if they wind up dead. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you have to be prepared when you start fucking with people's addresses. So if that ain't what you want, and if that is not your intention, then you need to be careful on how you decide to expose somebody, because you have to live with that. If you expose somebody and say, you know what, I know that he's been sleeping with men, and I know that he's been sleeping with my homegirl. You might not know the whole situation, but you decide that I'm going to put this shit on blast and I'm going to humiliate and embarrass him. And next thing you know, this motherfucker's hung himself, which this happened with a priest, a preacher. He hung himself, killed himself.
Yeah.
Be prepared for what comes next when you decide that you're going to expose that person. I'm not going to tell you you're right.
Yeah, nobody thinks of that. They don't think of that. They don't make it deep. They're so shallow.
Think about
everybody's shallow and they're trying to get paid.
So, and that's all.
Crazy.
All I'm saying is, I'm not gonna today. I'm not gonna tell anybody what they're right or wrong for doing. I am gonna say, in hindsight, and everything has hindsight. Before you make a decision on making a comment about someone's culture, their beliefs or whatever, whether we agree with it, whether don't, the person that makes those comments, please think about the aftermath of what that might help, how it might affect you. Same thing when you expose somebody.
I exposed somebody, and I'd like to share my story.
Okay.
So I was looking for a daycare for my daughter. She was 3 years old. At the time, we were looking around in the area, very close to home, and I ran into this guy, and he just rubbed me the wrong fucking way. I don't know why, but God put it in my spirit that this dude, there was something about this guy.
Was he part of the preschool?
He was the vice principal of the preschool.
Okay, thank you.
So he's forcing all it. So they invite us to a family night where they're kind of talking about, you know, they're kind of showing the preschool off to us at this family night. All the families love us. We're wonderful, blah, blah, blah. So what winds up happening is we walk in and he's like pressing this little kid to hug him. And I'm like, why is he really fucking with this little kid? Like, why don't he care no more? Why is he caring so much if this child hugs him or not? So I am part of the Virginia registry for sexual offenders, right? Boom. So I go in there and I look him up. And sure enough, this son bitch shows up. He's a preschool. Are you
serious?
He's a preschool vice principal, right? So I called the job and I said, look, you got 5 minutes to have him removed, or I promise you I will be calling the media. I gave him his 5 fucking minutes. I don't know his address or anything like that. I'm not going to reveal his name. But he had 5 minutes to vacate that premises. And I called right back, and I call every year to check to see, because it's a family-run business. So I call every year to check to see if the son bitch been hired again. Because I'll give them the same ultimatum, and I may not this time, right? I may just go to the media because y'all tested me. And I remember, even though my kid is already grown,
So let me
still gonna
ask
call them every year.
let me ask you something.
Yes.
What if actually I'm gonna ask you and then I'm gonna ask Nat the same shit. Because she's got kids too. What if they would not have removed him when you asked and
Then I'm calling the media. I told them
now, wait, and then you called the media
and the
now,
police.
and you called the police, and what if he would have wound up dead? How would you have been okay with that?
Honestly, if you're working at a preschool and you're a pedophile, I don't think you belong there. And you know you don't belong there, so you take that risk, bro.
But would you be okay with that?
Yes.
Okay.
Because if I had to, I'd have put a bullet in his head, my damn
One less person you
fuck with
gotta
my
worry.
kid.
Now,
And I ain't want him fucking with nobody else's kid because I couldn't imagine. I can't take that on my conscience. So
Now,
him being dead over them kids being molested, I'm good with it.
Now I'm going to tell you how I feel about exposure. Now I gave y'all the pros and the cons, but I didn't share what I feel about it. I feel it depends on the situation.
Yes.
I feel like if you have done some really disgusting towards women, like if you're a woman beater and you're out there on the dating scene, and I've dated you, thank God I've not had that situation, and I'm going to expose you. So other women know, and I'm gonna do it on a platform so other women know to be careful of the type of guy, because he's a woman beater. And typically women beaters, they don't get better, they get worse, and somebody winds up dead. Pedophiles.
That's so true. That's very true.
Yeah, pedophiles, absolutely.
Identity thieves.
Well, also another reason why I'm exposing a woman beater, if I was dating one or he was that type of guy. Cheating, I don't really give a damn about, unless like it's a guy that was spreading like an STD, shit like that. Yeah, he's knowing spreading it or some shit like that. Those are reasons why. Now, here's another thing. Once you have exposed somebody that is an abuser, if something happens to you, motherfuckers know where to look. Do you understand what I'm saying? People don't have to play guessing games with, oh shit, well, she has this big ass paragraph of stay away from so and so because he whooped her ass, and you know, blah blah blah. And now a lot of women are exposing these athletes. There's becoming a lot of situations where athletes are caught at home on camera, not just tossing these women around, I mean beating the shit out of them.
Wow.
And they're being exposed.
Yeah, I know. I saw some stuff pretty heavy, man.
Yeah, so those types of things.
I don't.
And it
I
started
don't
with
get
that
it,
Baltimore
man.
player.
I could never.
Yeah, if you're a gay male, gay female, and I don't give a shit what you do.
Yeah, I could care less about your lifestyle.
If you're married and you're a cheater, I don't give a shit. That's your business.
Yep, ain't your business, ain't mine.
If you go both ways and you're fucking with a man and a woman, I don't feel like, I mean, and it's just me. If it does not affect me, and when I
really don't give a fuck. I don't care. That's your business.
But let me when I say when it affect me. If it's not a friend, what up? Established in '87. If it's not a friend or a family that I'm directly associated with, it's not my business. It's just not my business. Unless it's gonna hurt somebody else in the long run, you know, or something's gonna happen to them. Nah. Child abusers definitely need to be exposed. Pedophiles,
Definitely.
Yeah, all that shit. And I'm perfectly fine if somebody goes and you know, my conscience is completely clear. If you are a little kid, somebody blows your brains away, I'm all right with that. I'm perfectly fine with that. Don't touch little kids. Don't be a toucher.
Don't pick on people that can't protect themselves. That's how I feel.
Yeah. I agree with that. But when you're an adult, it's a little bit different because adults kind of have the freedom of choice not to put themselves in certain situations unless it's by force.
Some do, some don't. And we can talk about trafficking like we were going to.
So that was why I said unless it's by force.
Yeah.
Trafficking, fuck man, that's a whole nother.
How they creeping in the schools?
In the schools and trafficking, I mean,
just a bad scene, man. I mean, these people are sick.
He said it's cool with the gays. I just don't like the constant pushing it in my face. Now
Yeah,
they're creeping in the schools.
I get what he's saying. Because that has to do with sexuality. What the fuck does that have to do with your ABCs, 1, 2, 3s, and
Ain't got a goddamn thing to do with it.
that's sexuality.
Conversation you have at home.
Even when you talk about sex ed, you're talking about the reproductive system. When you have sex ed, it teaches you the male body, the female body, and the reproductive system and what happens in order to make a baby. It doesn't talk about who you should be with. So I don't feel like that has absolutely nothing to do with the curriculum. And I'm okay with them not having it in schools. That's like religion in schools. I'm okay with them not having religion in the school because it has nothing to do with the curriculum. Oh man, yeah, that's a fact. You can't say anything about them.
I started choking when I saw that comment.
Oh yeah, they're flat out asking kids about trans feelings. Yeah, that's what the fuck, bro. What the fucking fuck.
What does that have to do with your fucking education? See, you choking too. I choked off of that shit.
Yeah, shit.
I read that shit and damn near died.
Fuck.
And look, I ain't got a problem with. I don't have a problem with anybody. Live your fucking life. You know, I live in a glass house. I'm not throwing stones, but I have to say, as a heterosexual, I don't want to see two heterosexuals slobbing it down on the street. So I damn sure don't want to see two gay people slobbing it down on the street. I don't want to see anybody. I just don't like PDA.
We need to go back to the days of where your business was your business. See, here's the difference. This gay shit ain't new.
It's not.
The difference was people had a little bit of class about themselves, and I mean like heterosexuals.
Everybody did, man.
Had a little more class about themselves.
All over the world, they walked around, gay couples.
Yes. So this is not.
Yeah, it's strange. 2,000 years ago, Romans, India, Syria, the Ottomans, it was just common.
Yeah. And
I mean, like, nobody gave a shit. Why do they give a shit now? Because you have too many radical Nazi. You have Nazism. That's Nazism. That's all it is.
But
it's it's radical disposition on people's beliefs and what they want to do with their own body and the controlling force. That's complete Nazism, you know, and that's what they're trying to bring back. Sad.
But I also
sorry, did I get off the topic?
No,
I was ready for Dutch to yell at me, man.
No, you're on topic. I was actually going to say, in contrast to what you're saying.
No, you know, babe, I just, it really is messed up, man.
I agree. I do agree that you can't tell people what to do with their bodies and you have to let people be who they're going to be. But I just think that now on both sides of it, you have one side fighting for control while you have another side that's fighting to kind of, okay, well, we're here, we're gay, we're proud, we're not going anywhere, but now we're going to shove it in your face. So I think on both perspectives, what really needs to happen is on all sides of the spectrum, not just with gay, but with society, it would be nice if we went back to the mind your fucking business. And if you don't see in the National Enquirer, you just kept it moving past the grocery line. You know what I mean? It was a choice to engage. And if you wanted to know these things, but now they're purposely making us, and I'm not just talking about gay business, celebrity business, all of this business that we really didn't give two shits to know. We want you to make good movies, make good music. And every now and then, if we get a peek in the grocery line at a magazine that this might or might not be true, leave some mystique about what was going on. But we have none of that anymore. Everything is an agenda that's being pushed. Everything is a gimmick. Everything is a clout chase. And everything now life itself has become commercialized.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like before, we didn't know when the president was sick like this. You know, if he had a cold, he had a cold. It was his business.
We didn't know which president liked who. It was always hearsay. But now these motherfuckers got Twitter, and they have Twitter wars and shit. That like the presidency actually has Twitter wars. Yeah. They, debates.
It used to be classy back in the days of JFK.
And now it's a mockery.
And now everything's a mockery. And you know, it started with Watergate.
I could agree with that. I can wholeheartely agree with that.
Oh yeah, and finally that law that was passed in 1978 is active. I mean, with Trump, second president in the history to do what Nixon did, and it's horrible, man. We should all be afraid. We should all be very afraid.
I am afraid, Jimmy. That's why I got guns.
Because let me tell you something. If well, no, you know what I'm saying. For everything too. Hey, babe, I'm Italian, so I got discriminated against my whole life. My family, my great grandfather when he came here. That's why.
Sicilian, Jimmy?
What's that?
Yeah, he's Sicilian.
I can't. I'm sorry, hon.
You're Sicilian, yeah?
I'm Sicilian and Forgin.
Oh yeah, y'all got it the way.
And I'm
Sicilian.
also English and Austrian.
Okay. Austrian. Okay.
But yeah, I'm 3/4 of Italian, but as you would say, I'm actually an American. So
Okay.
I was born and raised here.
Okay. All right.
I see a lot of if the GOP gets in, we will see dictatorship. The democracy that we know will cease to exist.
Isn't it already? Isn't it?
It's already there, right? With
No,
Roe versus Wade.
no, it's really not. It's not yet. But
Jim,
Trump,
they're taking them. They're slowly taking every right we have. As a
yeah,
woman, I
listen,
can't
Trump, and you
look
can
him
thank
up.
Trump. You can thank Trump for this. You can thank Trump for this. He wants to turn this country into a dictatorship, and it will be ruled with authoritarianism that you have never seen. This guy will literally, if you say one word, it'll be worse than North Korea. I guarantee you. You're talking about a tyrant. This guy's a tyrant. You have people like Marjorie Taylor Greene, and you can't do this. And you hear a guy, 2 men or 2 women can't get married, and we're not going to allow gays to hang out, or we're going to start zapping people. Yeah, that's what you're getting from the Republican Party.
Well, check out this
They
comment.
they want to take the vote away from people.
Yeah.
That's
why I'm buying land in a foreign country. Go ahead, Dutch. I'm sorry.
Check out this comment by Established 87. We are a dictatorship, and it's called federal bank. The federal banking system absolutely is a dictatorship. Because you have to think, your money that you get paid has to go and sit in the federal banking system. It has to go sit at the central bank, right? Before your account for the central bank to draw interest off of your money before you either get it. So if you're ever wondering when your money's sitting in limbo and they give you a piece of your money where the rest of your shit is, it's sitting in the central banking system while they draw interest off of it.
Thanks, Navy Fed.
For y'all that didn't know, there's a little bit of financial information for y'all. Y'all want to know when your money's just sitting there in limbo and they're like, oh, we sent it. And the bank is like, oh, we're waiting for it. Yeah, your shit's sitting there drawing interest for
Bank of America.
Central banking.
Chase.
What bank? Hey, what bank you guys use?
I use all the ones I named.
And USAA. I use USAA. Federal Credit.
Oh, you right. Okay.
Yeah,
now, what's your bank, babe?
Navy, Federal, Frost. Depends on what it is.
Hawaii. What do you use?
Navy Fed, Bank of America, USAA, Chase, and Citi. And Ally. And I got a stash. Well, I ain't gonna give y'all all my business. But look.
I wouldn't.
Navy Federal, I use currently both them and USAA. But I can say that I've been with both of those banks for 20 years. I've been with USAA since 1999, and I've been with Navy Federal since 2000.
Okay.
Wow.
I boycott USAA, so.
Boycott them?
I still fuck with them. I need insurance.
Hey, I did got great insurance, man.
Man, that's what I'm there with them for. John Knight.
But here's another reason why I say it is a dictatorship, and this is where I gotta agree when you start thinking about expenses. Here, in comparison to some countries, right? When you buy a house here and it sits on land, and let's just say you own the house and you own the land, you still have to pay taxes. You have to pay property tax. You have to pay land tax, right? When you don't pay, let's just say you own the house, okay, and all of its contents, and you miss your payments on the tax on your land, they still can come get your house and everything in it.
They can take it all away from you. That's 100% right.
Yeah.
So here's the problem with that is, now I'm going to use Africa as an example only because this was just a conversation, and they don't have a credit system. There is no credit system. So there is no, I'm going to go get a phone and put it on my credit. Everything, house, land, cat, dog, rat, whatever, has to be bought outright. No credit system. So they have to own outright when they're ready to buy a house. So that's why, and in other countries, once they buy land, once they buy the home, it belongs to them. Here is where if you buy a house, this beautiful home that I live in, and this little bitty piece of land, because the land costs more here than the houses, and you buy this shit, and for 30 fucking years, I have faithfully paid a note, never missed a fucking payment. I get sick, I get ill, same thing with my property tax, and my property tax start to build up, and these motherfuckers can come and take everything, my furniture and everything on this land that they decide to cover my debt. So do I really fucking own anything?
Is the property tax expensive there, Dutch?
Say that again?
Is it expensive there, the property tax?
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It's worse than New York and New Jersey?
I don't know what the property tax is in New York now, how the insurance is, but I'd have to look in comparison and I'll get back with you.
Well, my friend owns a 40 by 100. He pays $13,000 a year.
It's called eminent domain. You see, these are the things that people don't think about in terms of, when we think of dictatorship, we think of somebody standing in office that can tell us what we can and what we can't do. But you have to really look at the fine print when it comes to buying property, when it comes to your banking system, when it comes to your credit system. You can make a lot of money and have shitty ass fucking credit and still might need that credit to buy certain purchases. So you need this credit system. You know what I mean? And once you have the credit system, you have to be within a certain, there used to be where 700 was like A1 credit. Now you need A50 to have the best fucking credit. And then probably 1,050 is going to be the next.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it keeps moving. They keep moving the bar.
They do keep moving the bar up. You know what I mean? So when you look in terms of survival and look in terms of actually owning something to call yours and your legacy, even if you are rich, once you can no longer pay for the property that your shit sits on, it's no longer yours. Your businesses, the IRS can come take all that shit. Yeah. And that's just what it is. So when you look in terms of that, that's when you have to look at how free you really are. And then on top of our freedom of speech. So in that regard, Jimmy, I don't really think that we any longer have a democracy, because once upon a time, once you bought land in this country, it was yours. You know?
Yep. What do we really own?
And on that note,
what
folks, we thank everybody for joining us. Dutchie, you want to send us out of here?
Everything that we discuss is allegedly, unless it is a fact. I'd like to share our opinions and our thoughts with you guys. Y'all have a great week. God bless.
And again, thanks for all y'all comments and participation. And to the viewers, yes, we're looking forward to y'all. So have a good night. I think Jim was trying to say something. You got anything in? There we go.
Connection's bad.
What'd you say, Dutch?
We had established 87's comment, but we'll get back to it.
No, go ahead and say it. I ain't in the yet.
Oh shit, yeah. So that got one better. The government will say we're building a highway. We don't care if it's a family house taking this or nothing. Hell no, they don't give a shit.
Oh yeah, they do that shit all the fucking time. We got a railroad
running right through here. We got an unfinished railway system right here in Oahu, as he's speaking of this right now, with a highway, and this it cuts the fuck off. The train literally has nowhere to go, and it's on this little piece of of railroad system, a highway piece of railroad system. Imagine a highway that just cuts the fuck off and goes nowhere.
Wow. Craziness, man. Craziness. All right, thanks again, folks. Y'all have a good night.
Peace.